Hello everybody! So, before you proceed with the video, please make sure to watch the first chapter, which is all about the overview of human behavior in organization. Now, let us move on to the next chapter, which is all about individual differences, mental ability, and personality. These concepts will be defined and discussed by the rest of 2BSBAA. So here we go.
Hello everyone, my name is Rayami Amayabas. So what is individual differences? Individual differences are the ways in which people differ from each other, and these differences are usually substantial rather than meaningless. Every member of an organization has its own way of behavior. It is important for managers to understand individual differences because they influence feelings, thoughts, and behavior of employees. It is clear that people reply in a different way to the same situations. They use approaches towards communicating with others and solving the problems they encounter. For example of this, some individuals learn better with pictures and illustrations. Some learn better with repetitions, and some other get better results through participations. And that's the idea of individual differences.
People react differently to any style of leadership. Some people will prefer a leader with a democratic style, while some need close supervision from the supervisors. These differences make it necessary for a leader to use different style even in a small unit. People differences in terms of needs of contact with other people. Some will need more contact while others can work alone the whole day. Other people cannot be productive unless they meet there with other people. People differences in terms of commitment to the organization. Some are so committed and loyal to the organization that they work the whole day without noticing, and they are putting in more than required working hours. Those who are less committed are less concerned about outputs.
Consequences of individual difference. Number 1, people differ in productivity. Productivity refers to the rate of output per worker. Number 2, people differ in the quality of their work. So every employee has their own differences, and because of these differences with each other, it will also make a different quality result to their work. Number 3, people react differently to empowerment. Empowerment means giving someone the power to do some things. So in an organization, some employees prefer a leader with a democratic style, while other employees prefer a close supervision from their leader or manager. Number 4, people differ in terms of level of self-esteem. Some employees is very confident to do their job, but other employees are also experiencing low level of self-esteem because they have a lot of weaknesses or sometimes overthinking that they are lack of abilities and knowledge to do their job.
Good day everyone. Demographic diversity is the differences of workers based on their gender, generational differences, age, and culture. So the first source of demographic diversity is the gender differences, which entails the differences in the perception of male and female in the workplace. It is also influenced by both physical and emotional factors such as upbringing and the capacity of employee to perform the job duties.
Demographics is analysis of broad characteristics about group of people and population. One of its factors is the generational and age-based differences. First, let us define generational. Generational simply means people in the same generation may have the same likes, dislikes, and beliefs, while people on different generations may have different likes, dislikes, and beliefs. In relation with age-based differences, which refers to disparity of age. For example, a company is looking for employees to hire, which is the younger one or the millennials, rather than the older one or the baby boomers, because they see that they are more fast learners and more good in doing job, which stereotyping and discrimination may exist. But then, some companies embraces this kind of diversity for people not to be degraded and for the further growth of everybody.
People differs in terms of culture. Culture is the acquired knowledge and shared ways of thinking that people use to interpret experience. For example, Japanese shows their gratitude or appreciation before a meal by saying, "Itadakimasu." This will fall under social culture. What is social culture? It is the social environment of human-created beliefs, customs, and practices that defines behavior in a society. Another example is, Sammy, an employee, received his first pay and he treats his workmates. Now, this will fall under organizational culture. What is organizational culture? It is the collection of values, customs, and practices that is shared among the employees within an organization.
Aptitude, it is a capability of a person to learn a certain skill, and also it is one of the requirements before one can be considered for employment. Aptitude is a natural talent or a potential that we have to perform a certain activities, and also it is inborn to do a certain type of activities, whether it is developed or undeveloped. For example, you have a high aptitude for some artistic activities, but a low aptitude for some numerical activities.
Good day, everyone. My topic is all about ability. So, what is ability? It basically means having the power or the means to do something. It is the talent, skill, or proficiency in a particular area. It can either be the mental or physical power needed to do an action. For example, I can read, I can write, I can speak. Ability is also the competence to do a certain kinds of work, which may be physical or mental, that is gained through learning, like problem solving, communication, manual dexterity, and critical thinking. Other example, an employer should appraise the ability of his employees. Number 2, even though my ability to sell products is lacking, I was able to sell at least one item within the last 5 days. That is all. Thank you.
Hello, good day. I will discuss to you the dimensions of intellectual ability, which is the cognitive intelligence and social intelligence. Cognitive intelligence defined as the combinations of verbal and numerical or one's abilities to learn or to remember. Example of this intelligence is selective attention, which allows you to focus on a single task, and long-term memory, which recalls information from the past. Next is social intelligence, which refers to a person's abilities to relate effectively with others. Example of this intelligence is by teachers acquiring new knowledge to students by socializing, or empathy, which we can understand one's emotions or feelings. Thank you.
I am here to share my thoughts about the other two dimensions of intellectual ability of the person, which the emotional intelligence and cultural intelligence of a person. When we say emotional intelligence of a person, it's like putting ourselves in a situation wherein we can understand the behavior of others and to regulate our emotions in positive ways to enhance our living and to be able to empathize with others as well. While the cultural intelligence of a person is the interpretation of our different behavior in a different situation because we had different background, culture, or origin. It can be our capability to understand and to relate and work effectively in our differences. For example, we are getting to know the people from different regions or continents around the world.
Triarchic theory of intelligence was developed by Robert Sternberg. He was an eminent researcher which developed an approach to the study of intelligence. According to Robert Sternberg, there are three types of intelligence. These are competential intelligence, experiential intelligence, and contextual intelligence. Competential intelligence, or also known as analytical intelligence, is mostly used in thinking, academic problem solving, and computation. It also includes logic, abstract thinking, and mathematical skills. The competential intelligence or analytical intelligence is involved when the components are applied to analyze, judge, evaluate, compare, and contrast. The competential or analytical aspect of intelligence is the one that deals with how well a person can handle or analyze data in order to solve the problem.
Hello everybody, I'll discuss the triarchic theory of intelligence, which is the experiential intelligence and contextual intelligence. Experiential intelligence, also referred to as creative intelligence. It is a type of intelligence that focuses on imaginative and innovative problem solving. For example, Ken is a person high in creative intelligence because of his ability to use his knowledge and his skills to deal with these new problems every time. Next is the contextual intelligence, also known as practical intelligence. It is a type of everyday intelligence or street smarts. For example, Johnny is considering buying a second-hand car. A salesman, being a salesman, obviously trying to con the buyer, but Johnny is already prepared for price comparison.
Theory of multiple intelligence was first proposed by Howard Gardner in his 1983 book titled Brains of Mind. First is linguistic intelligence. Involves sensitivity to spoken and written language, the ability to learn and capacity to use language to create certain goals. Logical or mathematical intelligence, ability to analyze situations, to identify solutions, conduct scientific research, to solve logical or mathematical operations easily. Musical intelligence. In this intelligence enables us to recognize, create, reproduce, and reflect on music, as demonstrated by composers, conductors, musicians, vocalists, and sensitive listeners, like Beethoven and Ed Sheeran. They have an ability to recognize and create musical pitch, rhythm, timbre, and tone.
Spatial. This intelligence component enables people to perceive and manipulate images in their brain to recreate them from memories such as graphic design. This intelligence is found in architects, painters, sculptors, navigators, chess players, theoretical physicians, and battlefield commanders. Bodily kinetic. This intelligence enables people to use their body in the perceptual and motor system skills ways such as dancing, playing sports, and expression through facial expression.
Today, This is Charles Sarmiento, and I'm going to discuss the remaining components in the theory of multiple intelligences, and these are intrapersonal, interpersonal, and naturalist. To make it more clearly to understand, I am going to correlate it on the anime series Naruto Shippuden. Intrapersonal skill. Talking to yourself is not being crazy. It helps you controlling your own internal attitudes and inner processes that can build your relationship with others, just like Naruto talking to his Kage Bunshins. Interpersonal skills. Ability to understand and recognize distinctions among others, such as feelings, motives, and intentions. Naruto encouraging his friends and also for his foes, which is a nice behavior. And naturalist. This is the ability to relate well with his natural surrounding that helps to distinguish patterns in the external physical environment. Thank you for watching.
Personality refers to the sum to total ways in which an individual reacts and interacts with others. The ways are the patterns of behavior that are consistent and enduring. The personality of an individual is a result of both hereditary and environmental factors. Personality embraces moods, attitudes, and opinions, and is the most clearly expressed in the interaction with other people. It includes behavioral characteristics, both inherent and acquired, that distinguish one person from another and that can be observed in people relation to the environment and to the social group.
The first determinants of personality is heredity factors, which means the characteristic that we get from our parents. There are 7 followings of heredity factors. First is the physical stature, which means the natural height that you inherited from your parents. Second is the facial affectiveness. This is the person's physical features na namana rin sa parents. Third is the gender. This is the common. Refers to the characteristic of male and female, boys or girls that are socially constructed. Fourth is the temperament. This is the personality traits that determine how you react to the world. 5 is the muscle composition and reflexes. This is the physical appearance na naman sa parents mo, which is mataba ba or payat. 6 is energy level. This is the constant energy that you assume by a physical system. 7 is the biological rhythms. This is the regularity someone's internal drives, like sleeping, eating. Thank you.
The next determinants of personality is the environmental factors, which includes first is the cultural factors. An individual living in his or her culture is consciously or unconsciously adapting the characteristics and acting accordingly. The culture of any society defines an individual's actions and personality, and it is assumed that he or she will behave according to the culture. And the next one is the social factors. When an individual has group experience and interaction with others, an individual's personality is influenced by others, may be bad or positive, but it depends on the association in which they are involved. And the last one is the situational factors. Situational factors of personality are changing according to the social situations. Every person faces many situations in his life which enables him or her to change his or her behavior.
Emotional stability is a desirable trait. These are the people who can handle and control well their emotions. For example, in a workplace, si employee bigla na lang na-stress out or na-burn out, ganon. Hindi sila yung basta-basta nag-breakdown or nag-vent out ng emotions nila kasi kaya nila i-handle. Ganon. Extraversion. These are the people who are outgoing and talkative, but in a good way. For example, sila yung mga taong mahilig mag-suggest or mahilig mag-share ng ideas nila sa isang meeting, ganon, or in general sa workplace. Next is openness to experience. Ito yung mga tao na imaginative at saka sensitive sa paligid nila. Nagbe-base sila sa mga experiences nila before sila mag-decide. Agreeableness naman, dito natin makikita yung willingness ng isang employee na tapusin ang isang trabaho.
Personality traits and factors. Number 5. Conscientiousness refers to the person's reliability. Those persons with high degree of conscientiousness are trustworthy and responsible. Number 6. Self-monitoring behavior. A person's ability to adjust his or her behavior in a situation or the environment around him or her. A person with high self-monitoring behavior can switch behavior fast when a situation suddenly changes. Number 7. Risk-taking and thrill-seeking refers to the willingness of a person to take risks and seek for thrills. It can be observed in stunt performers and high-risk investors. Number 8. Optimism refers to the positive thinking of a person and believing that the result of an activity will become positive.
Emotional intelligence, otherwise known as emotional quotient or EQ. So what does it really mean? It is an ability to use, understand, and manage your emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflicts. So, there are 5 components of emotional intelligence: self-regulation, motivation, self-awareness, empathy, and social skills. So, self-regulation, it occurs when you're trying to control or think of the consequences before you take an action towards something to avoid conflicts. Motivation, it is about working with and for an inner vision of what is important, and curiosity and desire for learning and development. It is often a strong desire to achieve optimism even in the face of failure and organizational commitment.
Next is empathy. Empathy refers to the ability to respond to the unspoken feelings of others. For example, when someone gets bullied, and imagine that you're a kid watching this interaction. The first thing you will remember is that you may feel how to be picked on and wait until the bullies have left and help the kid out. Next, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the awareness of one's own personality. For example, in checking your body, sometimes we can't notice that our body is changing, so we need to be aware of that. Last is social skills. Social skills refers to the proficiency to manage relationships and building networks. For example, when you are a good communicator, I can say that you have a good social skills.
I'm Winnie Emianza. More on physical ability. Aside from physical ability on traits like strength, stamina, and dexterity, we have other aspects that makes individual different from each other. First is sense of sight. People different in what they actually see. For instance, a colorblind person, they will find it difficult to perform their jobs that requires the ability to distinguish colors. Second, sense of hearing. We hear different kind of tones and sounds. People differ in their ability to hear. Those considered tone deaf cannot perform as singers, and etc. Third is sense of smell. A person's tongue may be sensitive to a various tastes. We have different degree of sensitivity, and it makes us different from each other.
Good day everyone. So there are 5 basic senses, but I'm just gonna explain the 2 senses, which are the sense of smell and sense of touch. Our sensory experience influence our mood, comfort, performance, and well-being. So first is sense of smell. As the sense most strongly tied to memory, our sense of smells brings heavy association with anything tied to it. Just like a good smell can make a space feel cleaner, and a bad smell can completely ruin a nice atmosphere. Make sure trash is taken out daily, refrigerators are cleaned out often, and any other offensive odor are located away from customers. And the second one is sense of touch. Our sense of touch is closely associated with the emotion of comfort and warmth. Our sense of touch in the workplace has most to do with how comfortable you are at your workstation. That's all. Thank you.